You get at a point in your life where you have two options. You either have faith or you have fear. In today's episode, I want to talk about how fear is holding you back from achieving the life of your dreams and from becoming the person that God created you to be and the person that you know you can be deep down. 12 months ago, I was out of a toxic relationship. My business almost went bankrupt. I was homeless. I had $10 in my bank account. My worst situation and my worst fear became a reality for the whole of my life. Everything that I've done, everything I've built, I am pushing this hard because I am driven by pain and I am driven by this huge fear that I'm just gonna lose it all. And what happened is that I did lose it all. Hello guys, welcome to another episode of House of Impact podcast. This is your host, Geni. I am so excited and so blessed that you guys are all here. We've been growing quite fast the last few weeks, and just want to say first, before we dive into the episode, how thankful, how grateful I am for you guys to be here. I only have one favor to ask you, and that is if you are enjoying the show, if the show is bringing a lot of value to your life and a lot of light, please subscribe because that really helps the show grow. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next, and I hope that this episode serves as a way for you to go after your dreams, give yourself permission, and achieve the goals in the life that you know you can achieve. Without further ado, let's roll into the episode. In today's episode, I want to talk about how fear is holding you back from achieving the life of your dreams and from becoming the person that God created you to be and the person that you know you can be deep down. I wanted to record this episode because I feel like for most of my life, fear has really been holding me back from truly becoming the person God created me to be and doing and achieving all the dreams and goals and vision I had for my life. And I've been living in fear for the past, I'm 29, I've been living in fear for the past 27 years of my life. And I know that because I've always been kind of striving to achieve things, and I've always been led by fear and not by faith. And it was only when I came to Jesus and when I started developing a relationship with Jesus and with God, that I realized fear is not what drives you to the next stage and to the next level of your life. Is actually faith, and is actually the belief that you were meant to do more and that you were meant to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. And in this episode, if you've been feeling like fear has been holding you back from achieving what you want to achieve, from achieving your goals, from achieving financial freedom, from becoming who God created you to be, if you feel like you've always been having that feeling of I can be more, I can become more, but I am scared of what would happen if I gave myself permission to go there and if I gave myself permission to grow, I hope this episode serves as a guide for you to go and achieve your dreams. I want to talk first and foremost about fear. Fear is not real. I know, fear is not real. Fear is something that was created into your subconscious when you were a child. Fear is something that you've been acquiring from different sources in your life as you've been growing up. And a lot of your fears are not even yours. A lot of your limiting beliefs are not even yours. They've been acquired when you were a child, when you were a teenager, and that has formed who you are today and your identity, but that is not you. That's not the real you. Fear is just an illusion of the mind to protect you from achieving your full potential and who God created you to be. There's only two options. I feel like I want to kind of give more context on this, but I feel like you get at a point in your life where you have two options. You either have faith or you have fear. And I was at that crossroad. So I decided to pack my life in London and travel, and I've actually been in Austin for a month now. I'm leaving soon. Probably when this airs, I will already be somewhere in Europe. But I was faced with that decision, and I did not know what to do. But my mind and my default went to, let's stay in London because that is safer. That is what I know, and that is like what I'm used to, without even realizing that was a decision that was being made by fear and not by faith. So I just decided to basically pack my things and fly to Austin. And let me tell you, it's one of the best things that I've done, because I've realized that that fear was really what was holding me back from achieving all the goals that I have, and from really getting closer to who God created me to be. And when I realized that, I was like, I really wished I had someone saying to me and giving me, if I don't give myself permission, at least like listen to another person, give themselves permission, so I could just feel inspired and go and give myself the permission, take that action. So that's also why I'm here today, to tell you that there's a point in your life that you really have to make a choice. You either have faith or you either have fear. And if you are someone, and probably if you're listening and watching this, you are, that has a lot of things to achieve in life, that has a very big goal, that has a dream, that has a mission, but you have a lot of fear, and that fear is not even yours because of what happened in the past. Let me tell you, you will not get to the point that you want to get to, whether it's in business, whether it's financially, whether it's in relationships, whether it's like in your career, if you keep holding back onto things that are in the past. You cannot step into your next level. You cannot step into the next level of growth, of financial increase, of abundance, of really putting yourself out there, if you keep looking behind you all the time. This is something that I know it's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but a lot of the times we pray for an outcome. We pray for a change. We pray for a breakthrough, financial breakthrough. We pray for a breakthrough. I don't know, that could be in your marriage, in your relationships, in a family situation, whatever it is that you pray for. And God really wants to give you that. But when the circumstance around you do not add up, you just think that you're not praying enough, or that you're not working hard enough to achieve that, or that you're not simply gifted enough, or good enough, or worthy enough to get yourself to your side. It has nothing to do with that. What's really holding you back is that you are praying for all these things that you want, and like you really want to move forward, but at the same time, you have one foot into your bright and amazing and abundantly future, but you have another foot looking like at all of the things that went wrong, and all of the things that you did wrong, and all of the things that people did to you. And there's no way you can really step into what God has for you, how good life is going to be, if you keep holding back onto all this stuff. And I understand that. I was there. I was that person, and fear sometimes comes around. Like, it's not something that I don't have. I do, but I made a choice to turn that into, like, to choose faith, and to choose growth, and to choose breakthrough. And the more I do that on a daily basis, the less fear I have, the more I achieve. So in the last 12 months, I just don't want to sit here. I just don't want that, like, you listening to this podcast or watching this podcast and just feel like, oh, like, she's got it all together. Like, no. And actually, that's something I want to do, because I want to really give you the real on like how I got myself here, because I am not one special. I'm not as like you even might be more special than I am. I don't know that, but I know I'm not one special. I just decided to change the way I was seeing things, and I changed the way I was thinking. So 12 months ago, I was in a situation where I was out of a toxic relationship. My business almost went bankrupt. I did not have faith, and I was homeless. I had, I don't know, $10 in my bank account, and for 2 months, I remember there was this week that I actually probably had 3 meals because I had no money. And, but I had faith that it was gonna get better. But I was driven by fear. And what happened is that my worst situation and my worst fear, which I was fitting, became a reality, which was like, I'm going to lose it all. So for the whole of my life, everything I've done, everything I've built was always in like in my subconscious, in the back of my mind, as in like, I am pushing this hard because I am driven by pain, and I am driven by fear, and I am driven by this huge fear that I'm just going to lose it all. And it doesn't matter how much I work or how hard I work, I'm just going to lose it all. And what happened is that I did lose it all. Obviously, like, I had God back then, and thank God, literally. But I lost it all, and my worst fear came through. Like, it was one of the worst, like, truly my rock bottom in my life, but the most transformational, because like 12 months later, I am here. I am traveling the world, interviewing the greatest minds, sharing like their stories, being able to do this. And a year ago, I couldn't see a way out of it, and I was just driven by fear all the time. And one of the things that I did to break free from having that fear and living in flight or fight mode all the time, surviving all the time, was I really got really honest with myself and how I was operating in my life, and where that operation in my life and in my business and in my relationships was truly coming from. Was I operating from emotion? Was I operating from fact? Was I operating from fear? Or was I operating from my trauma? And what I realized is I was operating from trauma, and I was operating from fear. So every and any decision that I've made up to that point led me to be in that position. I'm not here like, I hope this podcast and I hope this episode serves as a bridge to wake something in you, because even in that circumstance, I did not make myself a victim of that circumstance, because I knew God was working on me. I knew there was a purpose behind all of that fear and all of that pain. But I did not make myself a victim of that circumstance, because I was the creator of that circumstance in my mind first. So whenever you want to create something, like, you have a vision, but in your mind, that creation is not like driven by faith or by vision or by mission, but by fear, and you are running from something instead of running towards something, that's when the cognitive dissonance is going to happen. And that is when fear will override faith. And that is when a lot of things in your life want to happen. Even though you are working really hard to make that happen, they want to happen because you're not driven by a positive emotion, and you are not embracing a positive feeling and sensation in your body, in your mind, in your soul, and in your spirit. So what I did to get myself out of that situation is I committed to have no fear. Even though that was really hard, but I commit to have no fear. I was like, okay, this is the worst situation. I am at rock bottom. I cannot go lower than this. The only way is up. And I feel like a lot of the times we just forget to look up, we just forget to just look around and see how blessed we are, how grateful we are, how thankful we are. Even if we're not in the best of situations, we just forget to do that. So what your brain does is when you look for bad things, it activates your how is that called? Reticular system, your IRS, to scan for things that will go wrong, to scan, like if you have fear in your mind and in your heart and your soul, what your mind is going to do is it's going to constantly scan for what is wrong, what could go wrong, and that's just going to fit into your fear. If you want to change that, the first thing you have to do is, even if my worst fear happens, you have to face your fears. Because if you don't, it's like you have dirty clothes in the closet and you never like wash them. You buy new clothes and you put them in the closet with your dirty clothes. What's going to happen? Like you will end up having a closet full of dirty clothes. And whenever you want to go and wash all your clothes, you will have no clean clothes to basically clothe you with. That's what happens with your thoughts and with your mind. And if you don't take care to face your fears first, those will keep repeating in your life and they will feed into your dreams. They will feed in how you show up in relationships. They will feed in how you show up in your career, in your business, in your finances. And a lot of the people, they are amazing, but they really don't achieve the vision they have, not because they are not competent, not because they don't have skill or strategy or will or vision or faith. It's because they have all of these dirty clothes in their closet that if they don't take care of those, they will end up with no clean clothes. And when that happens, it's like when you keep fitting into those thoughts, into that fear, you will end up having no clean thoughts. You will end up having more fear than action. You will end up having more setbacks than breakthroughs, because breakthrough does not happen one day you just wake up and you just experience a breakthrough. And a breakthrough does not happen on the outside first. A breakthrough happens on the inside. A breakthrough happens in your mind first. A breakthrough happens in your spirit first. And the reason why you're not probably experiencing a breakthrough right now, or what you are not in the place that you thought you could be or that you had prayed that you would be right now, it's because you are not allowing your mind and your spirit to be in that breakthrough. So like this is something that I really feel like called to speak into this podcast, because I know some of you need this, and I really feel called to say this. When you are working towards something, when you are praying for something, when you are wishing for something, when you, let's say, are wishing for to find love, when you are wishing for to make that much amount in your business, when you're wishing for to get a promotion, whatever it is that you're wishing for, a better relationship with your children, a better marriage, we wish for all those things, and that's great. But if we don't not allow ourselves to really give ourselves permission to have those things and feel worthy of those things, we will never achieve them. And this is something I realized, like, God will not have space to really bless you the way He wants to. And like, I say God. If you don't believe in God, just say the universe, whatever. I don't care. But what I want to say is you need to let Him work. You need to be open to how great life can become. Because when we don't, we just become a victim of our circumstance. And that all comes from what I said before, like there is either breakthrough or there's either fear. And at some point, you're just going to be so tired of always experiencing survival and not breakthrough that you will have to make a decision on what am I choosing for myself? And why are you not giving yourself permission to create the life that you want? Why are you not giving yourself permission to really see how good it can become when you unleash your true power and your true identity, who you are? Why don't you give yourself permission to see how good God can make your life and turn things around? What are you scared of? Why don't you give permission to be that person, to grow that business, to create the life that you want? And permission is not something that you have to work on. Giving yourself permission to really change your focus and change your angle and really think of how good life can be, it happens instantly. Back when I was homeless, I remember this day I was in my bathroom floor and I had like the last $5 in my bank account, and I remember I was listening to worship music, Trusting God. That was the song, and I was just really weeping on the bathroom floor. I lost my vision and I lost my faith a little and I lost my hope, and I just could not see a way through. But what I realized, like looking back, and we're not talking about that many months, it's been a year. Your life can really change in a year. But I feel like something that I realized that got me here today to run this podcast, to have this amazing blessing and opportunity to like talk to you guys and serve as a bridge for you, it's because I give myself permission to even consider or think what would happen if I actually would co-create with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. If I would co-create with God the vision that He has given me, what would that require of me? And so when I ask myself that question, my mind, like my subconscious, completely shifted. And it went from me being a victim to, for a second, me being a victim to go into a creator of my reality. And when I started asking myself the right questions, because I was asking myself, like, why am I in this situation? Like, what have I done wrong? Why are things not changing? Why, like, I'm working my ass off and these things are not even coming to fruition? I was like asking all the right questions. So instead of asking why, I started asking myself, how can I create what God has called me to do? How can I be a bridge for people to really achieve what they want to achieve in life? So the more I was just starting to ask the right questions, the less I was in victim and in fear mindset, and the more I was in expansion, in abundance, and in creation mindset. And it did not happen overnight, but there was that moment in when I was at my bathroom floor, and it was just like, something's not right here. Like, I am not made for this. I'm made for so much more. And obviously it's not going to change overnight. You really have to put in the work. But I feel like the first thing you need to do is just give yourself permission to just go and achieve your dreams. Sometimes we are not scared of the success and that we know we can have. We are not scared of our light. I think sometimes what we are scared about is how powerful we are and how big and great things can be if we truly go for it. And I feel that fear is more a fear of what's going to happen when I get there. Like, will I be able to sustain that? Will I change who I am? Will I get bitter? Will I be able to lead? Will I be able to like still be truth to myself? And I am here to tell you will. As long as you are grounded, as long as you keep your faith, you will. But I feel like there is no one secret sauce on how to achieve your dreams and on how to achieve your dream life. Even though there's a lot of people talking about it, I feel like the first thing you will need to do is believe that you are worthy and deserving of that life. Believe that you are that you can achieve what you want because you deserve it, because God created you that way. But giving yourself that permission, even if it does not feel comfortable at first. The way you do this is like little by little. For example, give yourself permission today to be kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to go and work, I don't know, 2 more hours into that dream that you have in your heart. Give yourself permission to be loved and be loved. Give yourself permission to show your work, share your voice, share your message onto the world. Give yourself permission to not being a perfect mom, but being the mom that God created you to be. It's not about perfection, it's about progression. Give yourself permission to put yourself into a situation where increase is coming, where growth is coming, where financial abundance is coming. Give yourself permission to save $50 more this month towards your dream. Give yourself permission to be seen, to be heard, and to be loved by people. And I feel that when you start doing that, life will just bring you what you desire, and God will be like, okay, like we're ready now to grow. And I feel like that's how I broke free from this scarcity, this fear mindset. And again, as I said, I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't have a podcast. I know a lot of you guys have been listening since the first episode. I would not be doing this if I would probably still be in that bathroom floor. I would not be this if I would still be in a mindset of fear and in a place of fear. Fear is not something that's created by human design and by God. Fear is something that the world has created. Because it serves politically, like in wars, it serves to have fear. In politics, it serves to have fear. Like if you think about it, like that's why fear was created. But when you look at how things were designed, you were designed to be an abundant human being. You were designed to have a spirit of courage and of bravery. You were not designed to have fear. So, next time that you want to do something and you're just so consumed by fear, I hope that you go and watch this episode, because I am here telling you that I have fear sometimes as well. Like I do. Like I am a human being. I'm just not going to sit in this chair. And you've guys seen all these episodes that we've recorded with amazing people. I'm not going to just sit in this chair and be like, oh, like you have fear. Okay, let's break free from that like in a second today. No, it's a progression, right? It's a progression. But I am here to tell you that you have to make a decision. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, like I feel you. Like I understand, but you have to make a decision at some point. And I hope that these episodes serves for you to make that decision. And I hope that from today onwards and from whenever you listen or watch this episode, that it serves as a bridge for you to really start living in growth, abundance, bravery, courage, love. And I really hope that you truly give yourself a chance, that you believe in yourself, that you believe how amazing things can be when you switch your angle onto what really matters and onto what can really happen. And change happens fast. I was there like 12 months ago and in that situation, and today I'm here and I've gotten the wildest opportunities that I've ever gotten in my life just because I changed the way I think, I changed the way I see myself. So the whole world around me changed. So I hope that this is my message for you today, and I hope that this episode really serves for your growth, for your spirit, for your mind, for your heart. And if you like this episode, if you would like more of solo episodes, let me know in the comments what you would like me to talk about. And again, thank you so much for being here with me today. Subscribe if you haven't yet. It's really going to help the show. And let me know how I can best serve you. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next episode.